Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Betty Building Great Minds, and protecting families is what I do. But before I go into that, let's first of all discuss about how did I get here. Wait a minute. For those of you that know me, you are like, this lady over here has a lot of caps that she wears. She went from being a lawyer, she went from there into going into being an IT technical person. She went there to be like a HR personnel. Where exactly, how did you find yourself in financial services? Of course, today I'm going to go ahead and explain that to you in a very relaxed environment. Grab your cup of tea or your cup of drink right here, like I have mine. Let us discuss together how I got there. You know why? You get to know me more, and then in your comments, I'll get to know you more. If you're new and you're just there for the first time, hit that subscribe button and you get to stay tuned to get notified when I drop much more good videos about how I got here and of course the journey so far. So, for those of us that are here today, I am so glad that you're here. How is your month going so far? Mine has started off so well. I'm doing some little healing and trying to be water friendly and drink more water and all that. And it's been good a little bit, but it's been good so far. So how did I get here? Where do I start from? I'll make it short and simple, right? So I began from, one time, right? I had a good friend of mine who had traveled here way before I got here. And, this friend of mine had told me so much about the American dream, had told me so many things about when I get here, she's going to tell me this and tell me whatever it was. And I was super excited about, I have to be in America. I have to get here. And one thing led to the other. And of course, we are here in the America, right? And life happens. I go to see her quite often. I would travel and I would see her. I would see her husband. I would see her kids. It was very beautiful seeing how they were. In fact, I said to myself, I just really want to just know how she does it. Like, how did she get here? And we got talking, and then after a while, something happened. Life started happening. The hustle started happening. Of course, we're here together. It's not a bed of roses. You got to get up and go work and, of course, go survive. And so I'm surviving. We will talk once in a while. I will go over there for Thanksgiving. So quite often than not, I will see the family during Thanksgiving. But this Thanksgiving came, I don't remember what happened, but I couldn't go over. And of course, we didn't talk. And then, of course, time started happening, passing by, and there were no conversations. Once in a while, just to say, how are you doing? And, we would definitely catch up briefly by the phone. And then I sat to myself and I said, let me call. Is it coming too long? Let me be intentional. We know over here, if you guys don't hear from your loved ones, pick up the phone, send a text and say, hey, how are you doing? It's been a long time that I've heard from you. It is actually very important for us to be very intentional about what we're doing about our loved ones. So that very day, I went over there and I sent my friend a message. And then there was no response. I didn't even think about it. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, late, I'm working. And I think about a week had passed and there was no message from her still. And then I got worried. This is definitely unlike this person. And it's getting very emotional. Okay. And I had called again, but now I was more intentional about what was happening, right? And so when I called, it wasn't her that answered the call. It was her sister. Now, mind you, I had no idea that the sister was definitely here. The sister goes to tell me that my friend has not been feeling too good. And, it's been a lot of battle back and forth. And when I tell you that they're doing well, they're doing very well. Picture this. You have a chef, you have nannies for each child. You are working, and everyone is excellently doing well. At the end of the day, when I get to talk to my friend's sister, what I heard was different. And it will amaze you that, to fast forward the story, she was diagnosed of something called a terminal disease. All my life, I didn't know what that meant. This was about almost 15 years ago. I had no idea what that meant. I mean, I knew what terminal was, but just never really had to think about it too deep, right? And it was a final stage. And this friend of mine struggled and battled, and her kids watched her go through that. It was not an interesting thing. I wasn't there to stay with my friend. I wasn't there to hold her hands. I wasn't there to even encourage her and give her those reassuring words because time had lapsed. And time is going tick tock, tick tock. Tonight, we're going to learn a lot of things about how did I get to this journey. It's amazing how life would take you through a journey, and then you will probably pass sometimes your stop point, and then be like, you know what, I got to go back. And then the time came, we heard about the news, there was a loss, and she had gone to rest. And the first thing that I heard when I traveled over to their place, and that was the first time I would travel as well, I saw family members and church members talking about a lot of things, but something struck me that day, right? And that day, it was more as to, they asked the question, did she have life insurance? I still didn't get it. I didn't get it. And I'm speaking here my truth because I want people like me that are out there who have heard about this before, who have, they're more like, you know what, Betty? I don't know much about that, but this here is going to probably help you out to see the realities of life. So when I heard about that, I went and I'm like, okay, I hear you, but I don't know what that means. And I did not even inquire further. People lack a lot because there's no knowledge. I didn't have that time, that knowledge of anything. We moved past that. Life went on, and of course, that was it. And that was the fast forward of what happened. But that was the very first time I heard about life insurance. But guess what? I paid no heed to it. I made no further digging because all of my life I had always assumed that life insurance was just for people, just not for us. It's just too expensive. It's just whatever it was just like a myth to me. Now fast forward to about 7-8 years ago, thereabouts. A friend of mine had then called and said, hey, Betty, you're very enthusiastic. I want you to go ahead and join me on this journey. And I wanted to, sign up and and all whatnot. Boom. I jumped right into it. I did the bar exams and it was, pretty forward. It was like boom, boom, boom. And, then I'm pretty much younger. I had all the and the time. Did the exams. Within a week, had already passed the exam. But something was still missing. I still lacked knowledge of what I was doing. Are you the same? Have you gone through this before, like me? This story is definitely meant for you, right? And so I passed the exam, and unfortunately, I did not have proper guidance as to a proper handholding to explain to me the details, the essence, the very need of why I as a person need to have coverage for myself and my loved ones. Went through that, went to all of the meetings, and I didn't have clarity. And guess what happened? My license expired in 21. And guess what? I didn't care. I did not care at all. I did not care. You know what? Grab your drink. Okay. Take a little sip right there. Okay. So remember, this is the story about the journey. I'm going to do a part 2. If you want to know about part 2, go ahead and stay tuned and subscribe so you will be notified when I drop that part 2 video very soon. And so I wasn't, guided properly and all whatnot. I went for a couple of meetings, and then at the end of the day, the person who told me about this thing just couldn't, there was no proper process. It expired. My license expired. In fact, I was called and I was told, hello. I'm like, stop calling my phone. I'm like, stop calling my phone and all that. Why? I lacked knowledge. And I'm being true because I want people to know that that people out there do lack knowledge. And when that happens, we miss out on a lot of things. And that is where this goal is talking about tonight. Do you lack knowledge? Are you still living in that doubt? Or are you still living in that type of life that you're like, you know what, I don't really care about what it is I'm doing or whatever it is? How much of life insurance knowledge do you have? You don't have it? I got you. I'm going to definitely give you a deeper dive. Like I said, you got to subscribe to learn more and follow definitely to learn more about this journey of mine. So I got a call and I was told that, you know, try to renew your what's it called, your license. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. It was more like they were bothering me. I'm not doing it. That's not my bit. And fast forward, it expired. In fact, I believe I was given, I think about like 30 days thereabout or 90 days to do or renew. I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I don't need it. Betty Building Great Minds is A-okay without it. And then a few years afterwards, I would say about another 4 or 5 years afterwards, when I did the initial one in 2018, I went into another meeting and it all made sense to me. I had clarity. I had more knowledge. I had understanding. And the thing is that if you understand where you are and you get exposed to what you're lacking, you'll be hungry to have more. Are you hungry to learn more about this? I'm going to do a part 2. So stay tuned for part 2. Thank you for your time. And of course, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.